Hey everybody, Cornfed Lady here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the winter cull and our future plans for our homestead animals. So come on. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is our Berkshire pigs. Now of course you can see there's no more pigs in here. We've already processed all 4 of our Berkshires. Normally we only do 2 Berkshires each year. This year we did 4 Berkshires because we don't plan on doing Berkshires ever again. So this pen that we've been using to grow them out in is actually going to be used to grow out our future Kuni meat pigs. So if you've been following along, then you know that we've decided that these Berks are too big and destructive to the land for us to breed. We've just been getting them from a pig farmer and raising them up to size and then butchering them ourselves. But this is pretty hard on our land and we're not able to breed them ourselves like we do with other animals. So we went ahead and got 2 years worth of Berkshires set up so that we can have some time to transition over to our Kunis. Let me go show you them. So over here we've got our Kuni breeders, and I need to talk to you guys a little bit about what's been going on back here because it's not quite what we've expected. So we got this pair of Kuni boys. And their parents are registered, so both of these boys are registerable. We have not registered them because there's a whole process and a fee for it, but we can have them registered because they are definitely full-bred Kunis. Now, that being said, even though these boys are full-bred Kunis, we're starting to believe that these girls are not. And let me show you why. So in our girls' pen, you can see, or hopefully you can see on this camera, that it's pretty tore up. They've got a lot of mud clumps, they've got a lot of roots exposed, there's nothing that hasn't been rooted or turned up severely. Their entire pen is just torn to pieces. Let me show you just how thick this mud is. So you can see, this is the situation we have in here, and their entire pen is like this. It's not just one spot here in front of their house. If you walk around their entire pen, you'll see everything has been rooted up quite heavily. Okay? I mean, if you look at my foot for a reference here, you can see just how deep some of these roots are. And their entire pen is like this. Kunis are best known for not overly rooting up their pen. So to me, this is a sign that maybe they are definitely not full-bred Kunis. Now when we got these girls, their parents were not registered Kunis. They did not offer to share any paperwork with us. They were basically just in a hurry to get rid of these pigs. So they just kind of shoved them out the door on us and said, here you go, take the money, here's your pigs, get out of here. We were hoping that they were Kunis, or Kuni enough of a mix to be close enough to what we're doing here with meat pigs for Kunis. But as you can see, this pen is tore up really bad. And it's gotten to the point to where we can't even hardly come in here anymore because it's like quicksand. And this is how my boots look every time I come out of their pen. Now, in comparison, these boys over here have been quite easy on their pen, and they've done very little damage as far as rooting. So let's take a look in here just to show you the difference of what we're seeing with the girls over there versus the boys in here. Now if you look real close, you'll see none of this ground is turned over. There's no mud, there's no clumps, there's no rooting holes, and their entire pen looks good, like this. So these Kunis definitely are easier on the land in comparison to whatever mixed breed the girls are. Hi. That's my maple syrup boys. If you didn't know, sometimes pigs can put off a musky smell that's exactly like maple syrup. So we've nicknamed these two the Maple Syrup Brothers because they always smell like maple syrup musk, don't you boys? Which is a nice bonus. So that brings us back to our winter cull and our future plans. So we will be culling these two females that are not working out for us here. And our future plans are to get some registered or registrable, like these two, Cooney girls, rather than whatever this crossbreed is. I believe my husband said he thinks it's a cross with a Jocelyn pig. I'm not sure, I'll have to look that up and put it down here below if I'm wrong. And then once we've got our new Cooney girls to go with our Cooney boys next year, we'll be able to breed them and start having Cooney meat pigs. And again, like I said, we did put aside enough Berkshire meat to last us through 2 years while we get this process settled in and started. All right, the last group of animals I wanted to talk to you about are the rabbit breeders, or our rabbits. And we do raise these for meat also. We keep 2 trios of breeders, and a trio is 2 females and a male. So we have 2 males and 4 females, 6 breeders total. And this one here's name is Shy Shy. Now we need to take a moment to talk about what's going on with Shy Shy. We actually lost our male breeder from in here named Mr. McFeely. And Mr. McFeely was a Flemish giant, which is a really large rabbit that grows really fast. So we're used to having our meat rabbits grow up really fast. Well, Shy Shy here was meant to be a replacement for Mr. McFeely. And Shy Shy is a New Zealand breed, which is the same as the girls. Let's see. So Beebs here is a New Zealand, and her sister on the other side here is also a New Zealand Midnight. So we've got some New Zealand girls, and we thought this time instead of a Flemish giant, we'd get a New Zealand boy. The problem with this is the size of this rabbit at 5 months old is about the same size as our baby grow-outs at 2.5 months old. So this rabbit is taking twice as long to grow to the same size. Now that's fine with him. He's a breeder. It doesn't really matter his size. We're not eating him. But it's an indication of how his babies will grow, which we are going to raise for meat. So Shiloh is not growing fast enough for our likings for a meat animal. So Shy Shy is most likely going to be involved or included in the winter cull. And we do have an idea to replace him. Now, of course, if anyone watching does want to adopt Shy Shy, please send us a message to our email listed on this YouTube channel, and we'll see if we can rehome him rather than eat him. But then our plans for his replacement is to switch out Shy Shy for one of these grow-out bunnies. Now, these grow-out bunnies are babies of Chunky Bunny, which means that they're the grandbabies of Mr. McFeely, who was our Flemish giant breeder. So you can see these bunnies are growing out pretty quickly. They're about the same size as Shy Shy, but again, they're only 2 months old, 2.5 months old, rather than 5 months old like Shy Shy. So we're hoping one of these grow-out rabbits is a boy, and we will be switching that boy with Shy Shy. So Shy Shy will end up in the meat herd to be processed this weekend, and one of these that's a boy will be taking the place of Shy Shy so that we can get faster growing meat rabbits, because these ones all have that Flemish giant gene in them. And then that will be the new male that we're using for the next breeding session, which is in February. So they're only about 2.5 months old now, but they'll be closer to 5 months or 6 months old when we go to breed them in February. One more future note about these breeder rabbits in here is that the 2 New Zealands I showed you, Beebs and Midnight, where'd she go? These 2 have been producing litters for 3 years now, And in February, when they breed again, that will start their 4th year of breeding. Now, females and males, well, females especially, are only supposed to have babies for about 4 years. And then they either slow down production or they just won't take. Boys can generally breed for 5 years. So the new boy that we bring in here from that grow out tractor I showed you will be able to breed for 5 years from now. Now next year we'll have to replace these girls as breeders. Of course, they will just retire in the rabbit yard. We're going to build them an outdoor hutch to retire in. And we'll be replacing these 2 females either with some new New Zealands or some Flemish Giants. I haven't really decided on that yet, but that'll be for next year. Now we've also been experiencing a couple of natural winter culls, and that is the wild animals around us that live down at the creek have been getting pretty hungry and desperate. So let me show you what's been going on. About a week ago, a weasel got into our turkey coop and it killed 2 of our turkey hens and damaged another one pretty badly. So we actually took the one in the house and kept her in the garage for a few days until she could heal up. We sprayed on some of that blue coat medicine. That's why her neck looks kind of purple. And we've since let her back out in the flock again, and she's doing fine. So now we only have 2 hens and 1 tom in the turkey flock. So we've lost half of our hens from the turkey flock due to natural winter cull from a weasel or something in the weasel family. And we could tell that it was a weasel by the deposit that it left behind, or its poop. Now, I looked up the poop, and according to the color, shape, and size of it, this is something from the weasel family. So to prevent future attacks, we've since added in more of the 1/2-inch welded wire around the roof eaves and little kind of corners around the door and things like that, just to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And the other natural cull that we have just recently experienced was a hawk attack in the retirement flock. So you can see the matriarch hen here, Opal, is okay. She was not attacked, but her friend that she used to have run around in her with her, Little Angel, is gone. Unfortunately, the hawk picked Little Angel up and flew away with her and left no sign behind whatsoever. So to prevent this from happening to Opal, I have since installed this safety netting to a small area here around her coop so that she can be safe from hawk attacks. So some of our winter cull was intentionally caused by us to collect meat for the year, and some of the winter cull happened naturally by desperate wild animals also looking for food. Well, that's about all I had to share with you guys for today. Thanks for following along. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and if you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. Y'all have a good one. Bye.
You've been a good friend, and nothing was taken to